Alfred Bernhard Nobel was one of the most complex and paradoxical figures of the 19th century. He was a man who made his fortune through explosives, yet devoted his legacy to peace, science, and human progress. Today, his name is immortalized through the Nobel Prize, one of the most prestigious honors in the world. Alfred Nobel was born on October 21, 1833, in Stockholm, Sweden, into a family of engineers and inventors. His father, Emanuel Nobel, was an inventive but financially unstable engineer who worked on mechanical devices, including early forms of naval mines. When Alfred was still a child, the family faced repeated financial difficulties, which would shape his disciplined and pragmatic mindset. In 1842, the Nobel family moved to St. Petersburg, Russia, where Emanuel Nobel found success supplying military equipment to the Russian Empire. This move drastically changed Alfred's life. Unlike many children of his era, he received a private and highly advanced education at home. He studied chemistry, physics, literature, philosophy, and languages, becoming fluent in Swedish, Russian, French, English, and German. Despite his scientific talent, Alfred Nobel also had a deep passion for poetry and literature. He admired writers such as Percy Bysshe Shelley and Lord Byron, and once dreamed of becoming a poet himself. However, his father insisted that he pursue a practical scientific career, believing it offered stability and purpose. As a young man, Nobel traveled extensively across Europe and the United States. During these travels, he encountered the dangerous but promising explosive known as nitroglycerin, first discovered by the Italian chemist Ascanio Sobrero. Nitroglycerin was incredibly powerful, but extremely unstable, a substance capable of transforming construction and warfare, yet prone to sudden and deadly explosions. Alfred Nobel became obsessed with finding a way to control this volatile compound. Tragedy struck in 1864 when an explosion at the Nobel family laboratory killed several people, including Alfred's younger brother, Emil Nobel. This event deeply affected Alfred, reinforcing both his determination and his lifelong sense of guilt. Rather than abandoning his research, Nobel intensified his efforts to make nitroglycerin safer. In 1867, he achieved his breakthrough by combining nitroglycerin with an absorbent material called kieselguhr, creating a stable, moldable explosive he named Dynamite. The invention revolutionized construction, mining, and infrastructure development around the world. Railways, tunnels, canals, and roads that were once impossible to build became achievable thanks to dynamite. At the same time, the explosive was quickly adopted by military forces, linking Nobel's name to warfare and destruction. Nobel continued to invent relentlessly. Over his lifetime, he registered more than 350 patents in fields ranging from explosives and synthetic materials to optics and chemistry. He established factories and laboratories in over 20 countries, becoming one of the wealthiest industrialists of his era. Despite his financial success, Alfred Nobel lived a remarkably solitary life. He never married and had few close personal relationships. Those who knew him described him as introverted, reserved, and often melancholic. He suffered from chronic health issues and bouts of depression, frequently questioning the moral consequences of his work. One of the most defining moments of his life occurred in 1888. When Alfred's brother Ludwig Nobel died, a French newspaper mistakenly published Alfred's obituary instead. The headline read, "The Merchant of Death is dead." The article condemned him for profiting from weapons and explosives that killed countless people. Reading his own premature obituary shocked Alfred Nobel profoundly. For the first time, he confronted how the world might remember him. Not as a scientist, but as a man who made killing more efficient. This moment became a turning point. In the final years of his life, Nobel began shaping a different legacy. On November 27, 1895, at the Swedish-Norwegian Club in Paris, he signed his last will and testament. In it, he dedicated the vast majority of his fortune to establish prizes for those who had conferred the greatest benefit to humankind. Alfred Nobel died on December 10, 1896, in San Remo, Italy, at the age of 63. When his will was revealed, it caused controversy, confusion,